Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has reaffirmed that its 2023 presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and his Kwankwaso group remain expelled from the party. At a press conference in Abuja on Friday, NNPP National Chairman Agbo Major warned Kwankwaso and his supporters against actions that could destabilize the party. Major accused the Kwankwaso group of attempting to interfere with the party's National Assembly caucus by writing to the Speaker of the House of Representatives to replace Deputy Minority Leader Aliyu Madaki. The new Nigeria People's Party is currently embroiled in a crisis following the expulsion of its 2023 presidential candidate Rabiu Kwankwaso and his Kwankwaso group. Tensions escalated when the Kwankwaso group allegedly sought to replace Deputy Minority Leader Aliyu Madaki, prompting accusations of interference with party affairs. The NNPP leadership has condemned the group's actions as reckless and has filed petitions with security agencies to prevent any disruptions. Well, joining us now to discuss the future of the NNPP in view of the recent court ruling ousting Kwankwaso and others from the party's leadership is the party's national legal advisor, Robert Horn. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you very much for having me.
So can you tell us, who is in charge of the NNPP at the moment following the court ruling which ordered Dr. Aniabunam to take over the administration of the NNPP?
Thank you very much for availing me this opportunity to clear the air. Now, the world has gone digital. It's no longer analog. So for you to know who is really in charge of NNPP, you have to just press a button. Google and the national officers of NNPP, whose names and addresses are registered with Independent National Electoral Commission, in compliance with Section 222, Paragraph A of the 1999 Constitution as amended, will appear. The person you are addressing as the national chairman of NNPP, Major Agbo, his name is not there. It's very easy. So the Constitution makes it clear for a political party, any association be registered as a political party, it must have the names, addresses of its national officers registered with the commission. That is Independent National Electoral Commission. It's a mandatory provision of the Constitution for an association to be qualified to be registered as a political party, first and foremost, by the provision of Section 222, Paragraph A thereof. It must have the names of its national officers registered with the commission. Now, Google the INEC website. Whether you have Major Agbo or anybody within his rank, their names registered with INEC. You will not see any. Now, going further, you display a logo there, a basket of fruits situated inside the map. There are 19 political parties in Nigeria. 19.
Okay, so allow me to interrupt
NNPP,
you.
New Nigerian People's Party.
Allow me to interrupt you.
Okay.
I quite appreciate the explanation that you have given, but then I'm wondering, how do you reconcile that with the court ruling, in Abia State that says Dr. Aniabunam should take over the administration of the NNPP? How do you reconcile both positions?
If you just be patient enough, I will reach there. And the explanation will be very clear to you. I will reach there. So, that mandatory provision of the Constitution must be satisfied. So, if Major Agbo and any of his co-travelers do not have their names on the INEC portal as national officers of NNPP, New Nigeria People's Party, then I wonder where it's coming from. Then I was talking about the issue of logo that you display on the screen. That logo no political party in Nigeria bears that logo. There are 19 political parties. Again, you just Google INEC portal and you see it. 19 political parties. NNPP is number 12. The logo, there's no logo. There's no political party in Nigeria with that logo. Green, blue, and white with a basket of fruits and a map. There's no political party. I challenge you, just Google, it's just a button away from you. Press a button on your phone and you see it. So the party they are talking about does not exist. The party they are talking about does not exist anywhere in Nigeria. They are misleading the people, and I want to caution here. The press has everything at their disposal. A television channel like Arise has every technical gadget, and it's just a button away. And they will call the rules. They will now expose the impostors. So you also help to educate Nigerians so that we will not be misleading millions of people. It's not right. These are impostors. Now, coming to the judgment, you see, the court is manned by human beings who are limited in their sight. It's what you bring before them that they will look at it. So I'm not apportioning blame to anybody, any judge. It's mainly the lawyers and the litigants. That judgment was a default judgment. A default judgment means a judgment that was given without defense. They have been sneaking in and out of several courts in Nigeria. This one, they went to an obscure court in Abia State, Uzuakoli village, and obtained that judgment. That judgment was obtained by fraud, and it's surely going to be set aside. They mislead the court, deceive the court, that they have served NNPP when they have served themselves, so there was no service, and NNPP, whose headquarters is in Abuja here, with its national officers resident here, and carry out its normal official duties here in Abuja, in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, we are not aware of any such proceeding pending against them in court, any suit pending against them in court. Proceedings were conducted, and judgment was given, and it's a default judgment. And by the rules of Abia State High Court, we have the ample opportunity and right to set aside the judgment. And that's what we have done. No. We have filed our processes in court. So I will not talk much about that. So it's a default judgment that was obtained by fraud. But before then, let me explain. Before then, they have, like I said, they have been sneaking in and out of court. But they have never gotten anything until they went down to Uzuakoli, Abia State High Court. Before then, they have gone to court in suit number 1354, Federal High Court, Abuja Division, seeking the orders of the court to compel INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, to upload their names, record their names as national officers of NNPP. Judgment was delivered against them on the 18th day of April 2024. They sneaked to the court. They didn't join us, who are the national officers of the party that they want to replace. We got wind of it because it's in Abuja here. It's no longer in an obscure village in Uzuakoli. We quickly went to court and applied to be joined as interested parties. And we successfully conducted that matter. Defended that matter, and judgment was given against them that you have been expelled from the party. That was the finding of my Lord Justice Emeka Nwite on the 18th day of April. You have been expelled. You were suspended and subsequently expelled from this party. You have no right to sue in the name of the party. You have no right to sue against the party. The judgment of Emeka Nwite is before me here. With your permission, I may even wish to read it. The last paragraph of the judgment. Sorry. After making its finding, this is what my Lord Justice Nwite said. He said, the defendants have also shown that the suspended persons who are hiding behind their fingers to use the plaintiff's name to sue and who are claiming to be elected or appointed officials of the plaintiff, that's NNPP, New Nigerian People's Party, were on suspension and later were expelled when they claimed the status they are parading before this honorable court. A suspended person in law loses, cannot perform the function of that office again while the suspension lasts. Their privileges were stripped off See the case of Attorney General Cross River State versus Federal Bank of Nigeria, citation provided. More so, I'm following the finding and the ruling, the pronouncement of my Lord. More so, by exhibit attached to the second to 17 defendants, counter affidavit. The Board of Trustees perform merely an advisory function and does not have power to nominate any person for national office or the plaintiff, in this case, NEC, National Executive Committee. The suit of the plaintiff, therefore, is standing on nothing. In view of the foregoing, I am of the humble view, and I so hold, that this suit lacks merit, and same is hereby dismissed.
Okay, so Mr. Horn,
this was on the 18th of April.
Mr. Horn.
So sorry, though this judgment pay rest to whatever claim they will make on this party, on the NNPP again.
Okay, I think you have had ample time, to actually state your position. But as a lawyer, how then do we explain, this conflicting court judgment, on almost on the same issue? What does it say about Nigeria's judiciary? What does it also say about our politicians who go shopping about, for favorable court judgments?
It's very sad. Very, very sad that some people will be so desperate and will now be emasculating the hallowed chambers of hallowed temple of our justice system for this despicable act in their desperation. You see, you cannot blame the High Court judge who gave this subsequent judgment. He wasn't aware. They mislead him. They deceived the court. So, as for the judiciary, as for this case, I can never blame the court. We were not aware. He was misled. That's why the rules of the court, of that same court, says when it is now established that the court was misled, the court was deceived in giving a judgment in default. The defendant has a right, without going through the rigors of appeal, to come to the same court to seek for the orders of the court to set aside the judgment. So I will not be judgmental about the justice system, the justice system. That's a different ballgame. On this matter, it is the politicians, the desperate politicians, who I will tell you that are impostors. Clearly from this judgment, they have not appealed this judgment. If they appeal, the judgment is subsisting. It has not been set aside. We have several judgments like that. They have been to several courts. As I'm talking to you now, they have about three cases in a federal high court, Oyo State, Ibadan. 3 pending. They have some still in Abuja here, seeking the same thing. But until the courts look at, like I said, the court is a human man by human beings, whose knowledge and information about these things is limited. So until you bring it to their knowledge, you bring to the knowledge of the honorable court before the court will act. So it's our duty to be bringing it to the knowledge of the court. They have filed several suits. So Major Bo and Co are impostors, and we have to say it clearly. What they are parading as a logo of the party, no party wears that logo in Nigeria.
Okay.
None of them has their name registered with INEC.
But in the meantime, I'd like you to react to accusations of the Kwankwaso group attempting to interfere with the party's National Assembly caucus, by writing to the Speaker of the House of Representatives to replace the Deputy Minority Leader. Can you react to that?
Very well. I want to correct an impression. Kwankwaso group cannot write any letter to INEC with respect to the leadership of our members in the National Assembly. Kwankwaso is not NNPP. Kwankwaso is just a group, a small group, a spectre. Though formidable, no doubt. In NNPP, I don't know of most of the members, national officers of NNPP. The national chairman is not Kwankwaso. The national secretary is not a member of Kwankwaso group. Most national officers of NNPP are not members of Kwankwaso. So for you to be happy that Kwankwaso is trying to destabilize, I think you are still misleading the the populace, the viewers, is misleading. Kwankwaso cannot write, and no correspondence from Kwankwaso will be honored by anybody on behalf of the party, NNPP. So it is NNPP National Working Committee within their right, acting on the instructions of National Executive Committee, which is the second highest organ of our party, that they have written to the leadership of the National Assembly to substitute the deputy minority leader. And it's within their power to so do. The rules of the National Assembly allows it. It's the party that decides who their principal, which of the members should be a principal officer at the National Assembly. And any other assembly for that matter. It's the party. So it's not Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is not NNPP. So I hope I made that clear. So the Major Ogbo, who is either a chairman, who is a stranger and an impostor, cannot decide. He has no right to even comment on the affairs of New Nigerian People's Party.
But in the meantime, you know, he said he has filed...
It should be told the full truth.
But in the meantime, he says he has filed petitions, you know, with he says he has filed petitions with the security agencies to prevent any disruptions. He seems to be suggesting that there are plans by the Kwankwaso movement, you know, to threaten public peace in Kano State. What are your thoughts on this?
Did he show you the copy of the petition? Did Major Ogbo show you the copy of the petition?
We are going by what he said, so I'd like you to react to it.
No, you should be careful as, you know, because you are occupying a very pivotal position.
That's why you are here, to clarify it for us, so please react to it.
I didn't write any petition, so I'm not aware of that. I didn't write any petition. I'm not privy to the petition. I've not even been told about any petition anywhere. But this idea of Kwankwaso and NNPP are two different groups. Kwankwaso is just one of the groups in NNPP. There are many other groups. We have TNM, the national movement is there. They are also in NNPP. We have many other groups. So if he has a personal issue with the Kwankwaso group, he should go and iron it out, but he shouldn't bring NNPP in. Kwankwaso group is one of the formidable groups in NNPP. Formidable, I repeat. But the affairs of Kwankwaso are different from NNPP. Kwankwaso does not lead NNPP. Kwankwaso is just members of NNPP.
Well, thank you very much. And just before I let you go, one more question for you. You know, there's been speculations and allegations in some quarters that Nigeria is sliding into a one-party state, as it seems like all the credible opposition parties are experiencing severe internal crisis. I'd like you to react to this. Are you also worried that indeed we might be sliding into a one-party state? Final question, very briefly.
Thank you very much. Well, the signals are there. There are crises in most political parties. In the case of NNPP, what I will tell you is that the people who are saying they are NNPP, they are not members of NNPP. So there's no crisis in NNPP, as I'm talking to you now. You cannot be a stranger and be agitating against the affairs of an association that you are not a member. In this case, NNPP, a political party. Where even the leading party on the issue of sliding to one-party state, where there may be attempts, but I think it cannot survive. Even APC, they are having issues. They are having crises. So if I say maybe other political parties, the opposition parties are having crises, what about the main party? The party is having crisis. So at the end of the day, as for NNPP, we are stable and we are steadfast. And we cannot be shaken. We stand like a rock of Gibraltar. Cannot be shaken. There's no crisis within NNPP. These are outsiders. Outsiders cannot destabilize the party.
Very well said, Mr. Robert Horn, NNPP National Legal Advisor. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.